Hi everyone, it is January 2025. It is a new year and we are having record-breaking cold outside my window here in Connecticut. I think it's only about a high of 18 degrees today, which is kind of unheard of for us. It is a great time to be in your sewing room, and you got that beginning of the year energy where you just want to get a fresh start, clean things out, get things organized. And so after you do all that though, and you figure out, well, there's this project I'm never going to finish. That fabric, what was I thinking? And I really am never using those ribbons. Well, what do you do with all of that stuff so that it doesn't end up here in the landfill? Well, I've got some great options for you, and those options are not just for those of my friends here who are located in the United States. I have some international options as well. But first, I am Lisa, the owner and designer of Pink Hollybush Patterns, a line of sewing patterns, for children's clothes, most of which contain an option for smocking, and most of which are designed for knit fabrics. Okay, let's talk about what you're going to do with those items that you no longer want. Let's start with the things that are in good condition. They have, somebody else would enjoy receiving them. They're not damaged. It's yardage or patterns with all the pieces, ribbons, zippers, various sewing supplies that are in good shape. Okay. Well, let's say I'll start with maybe you want to sell them rather than just donating them. So the first place that I recommend you go is Facebook. I know, Facebook. But yes, you should go to Facebook and go to groups, not to Marketplace, but to groups. And in groups, search using the word Destash, all one word, Destash, and then put whatever type of thing it is that you are trying to pass on. So, needlepoint, cross stitch, fabric, craft supplies. There is a group for destashing everything. And the more specific you can get, the more helpful it might be. So for example, there is several smocking destash groups. There is an heirloom fabric destash group, a vintage fabric, cotton only. There even are some groups by location. So I found a Connecticut craft destash group. So all of that will help to actually pass those various things on. And some of these groups are so huge that you might very well find local people who are interested in giving what it is you want to sell, or you of course could list in these groups for free as well. Now, as I mentioned, this isn't just for the United States. So these groups exist in many different countries. I saw an Australian one that popped up, and I'm sure if you were searching, the Facebook algorithm is going to know where you are when you're searching for these groups, and so it's going to give you more local groups or groups within your country. On these destash groups, you can even sell or give away your half-finished projects. So before you give up and think, okay, I'm out of guilt going to just take that half-smocked dress and donate it to Goodwill, post on one of the Facebook destash groups. I have a very good friend. She has bought several half-finished smock dresses. She's finished them. Her granddaughters wear them. So don't give up and just get rid of it. Nothing against donating to Goodwill, but I doubt that if you do, they're going to know what they got, or if they even do put it out on in the store, that you're going to get somebody walking by that knows what a half smock dress is and know how to finish it. It could happen. I'm not saying that. But you have a really good chance if you put it, for example, in a smocking Destash group, of somebody grabbing it and taking it. Same thing with a half-finished quilt, a half-finished needlepoint project, a half-finished cross-stitch project. Put those in the Destash groups and give a second life to the project. Somebody would, there are people out there that would like to take it and would enjoy finishing it. Now, the downside of this, what I was alluding to, is you're going to have to then package up and ship whatever it is, right? Unless they are local, you could limit it to that they need to pick up if you don't want to be bothered with shipping. But you are going to have to take pictures and take the time to load it up, put it on Facebook, answer any inquiries, and then make arrangements for the items to get to the new owner. If you're willing to give the items away rather than selling them, and you could just do local pickup if you don't want to have to interact with a stranger or have set a meeting place elsewhere. I have done this where I have said, okay, you can pick up the items between 12 and 2, and the bag is just sitting out there. Help yourself. If money isn't changing hands, there's no need, right, to actually interact with the person if you're uncomfortable with, somebody coming into your house, or I understand all of that. Now, if you don't want to be bothered with any of that, you really would, you're willing to just give your stuff away, to donate it, and you want it out of the house, and you don't want to have to try and make arrangements, take pictures, all of that, right? Then a couple other options for you. The first is do a search for a local craft or sewing group, whatever your particular thing is that you're destashing, needlepoint group, whatever, in your area, and see if they would be willing to accept the donations. My Smocking Arts Guild group did this often. We had different people contact us. We were willing to take the stuff. It then came to a group meeting, and anyone who wanted anything was welcome to it. And that's how we handled it. Now, the negative thing about that, I will fess up, if none of the members wanted anything, it usually ended up in the trash. So if you don't want that to happen, that probably is not the best option for you. Okay, another option though is, especially if you're in a little bit more of an urban area, but you still want to double check, and that is to take your supplies to a creative reuse center. And I have 2 links for you that I will put down below that lists where is a directory of these centers. There's a lot of them in the US, but one of the lists also includes Canada, the UK, Australia, and some other countries as well. So what these centers are is they take any kind of craft supplies, fabric, textiles, anything that you could use to make artwork, and you donate it, and the center sells it at a very reduced cost. They are typically targeting teachers who may use the supplies. They are also targeting artists who reuse them in different ways. While you're on their website, you might want to check them out. They often offer workshops as well, and a lot of them are popping up around the country. They're just a neat option to check out. we have one right here in New Haven that I can go to. Hours are limited. They're often not-for-profits and are completely run by volunteers. So you do want to do a little checking out before you just jump in the car and head on over that way. Look at specifically what they will and will not accept. Okay, a last place that you might want to consider donating. Again, do Google search, but there have been, at least in the US, a number of programs, especially in cities, that have popped up that teach sewing to refugees. Okay, they've found that that's been a very good way to help that refugee women have marketable skills and to help provide English as a second language training and different services for them. And a lot of those programs are looking specifically for fabric, sewing machines, sewing notions, anything that you would use that they can then make so different sewn products that they then sell to help produce some income for the family. So just doing a little bit of a Google search, I found several here in Connecticut. So that is another option to put your different supplies to very good use. Okay, and my last thing I want to talk about is, what about those things that you have that maybe don't have a useful life anymore? And what I'm talking about are, yeah, you guessed it, your fabric scraps. Now, I know people have tried cutting all these up and using them to stuff various things, but to be honest, I know I produce a lot of fabric scraps, and I wasn't, if you like giving that a try, I absolutely am supportive of you, but I haven't found that that works real well. What you can do is purchase a retold recycle bag. And I'll give the link to the website over here, but what these bags are, yes, you're paying to dispose of your scraps, but basically the bag comes in the mail. You stuff it as full as you can with your scraps, and when it can't take any more, you seal it up and you drop it in the mail. And yes, it goes in the regular mail. The bags go back to Retold Recycle. They have recycle partners that sort through it, and depending on what the fiber content of the various scraps are, and it then goes to remanufacturing facilities where it gets turned into new products. You can read all about it on the Retold website, and of course I will put a link to that below as well. Retold Recycle actually accepts any type of textiles, but they do have a specific bag for fabric scraps rather than clothing. I hope this video has given you some ideas of how you can make your sewing creative hobby a little bit more sustainable and earth-friendly. If you've liked this video, please make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know every time a new one pops up. Thank you for joining me today, and I am going to now go and finish doing some more sorting through and cleaning up. Happy sewing!